Our next movie
Outside the Wire.
is Outside the Wire, right? So, oh wow, oh they just trying to clip me. They don't want people to know about Outside the Wire on Netflix.
Great film.
It's a great film. So let's break it down, right? They tried to clip me on Outside the Wire. Really?
I mean, great
Netflix.
cast. Come on.
Netflix, right? So
right.
look, the synopsis. A young fighter pilot, or should I say, a young drone operator pilot, is insubordinate as far as certain orders are concerned, is reassigned, demoted to a lower position. He meets his next commanding officer, and I'll say all snit hits the fan. That's my synopsis of it. Let's go through who's starring in it.
Okay, starring Anthony Mackie.
Anthony Mackie, you know Anthony Mackie. Anthony Mackie from Marvel. You know he went from the Falcon to being Captain America. But you know they said that they're going younger now for the Marvel. So will we ever see Kevin Mackie as Captain America? We don't know, but hopefully we'll see a younger black man playing formerly Falcon Captain America. And if not, we don't need a reboot. All right, and who else?
We reviewed him. He did a great job on The Banker.
Yes, he did. Yes,
excellent.
He did. Him and Samuel L. Jackson.
Yeah.
That's right.
So that's one of our previous episodes. You have to check that out. And Damson Idris.
Damson Idris. We know Damson Idris. Damson, whatever it's Idris.
From Snowfall.
We know him from Snowfall. Stop the car. Stop the car. Something, you know, he's got that LA accent down to a science, and we hear just a little bit of it in here. You know, he's not an American black actor, but he's bringing these characters to life. Who else is in it?
Emily Beecham, Christina Tantier-Young, Polio Asbeck, Bob Lockwood, Adam Fielding, and Michael Kelly.
Yeah. So it's an ensemble cast telling I'll call it like a Cold War, because there's scrimmages and happenings within Cold Wars, right? But the problem in the story is, besides his obvious problem of being demoted, is that the codes to the nuclear codes to the Russian nuclear warheads that were stored away after the Cold War was over have somehow got into people's hands who are trying to deliver it to a madman, a person who wants to be a dictator, right?
Yes. And
Kevin Mackie's character is assigned to stop it, and he gets, well, you'll see that in the film, but Idris's character is assigned to him, and he becomes his assistant to go fight this, right? In between time, we have his character takes a long time to arc in this picture, right? Damson Idris is, look at his name now, so I got it.
Because we're used to saying Franklin from Snowfall.
Damson Idris takes a long time. His character takes a long time to arc in this picture, because Kevin Mackie he's obviously still pumped up over his Marvel years, and he's just kicking butt throughout the picture. It is an action-filled picture with so many twists and turns and misdirections in the film. You don't know which way you're going. If you're going or coming or going.
Yeah.
It's so many twists in the film.
Right, they do a great job.
This is definitely, because if this was going to be in the theater, this was going to be a great action film in the theater. Yeah. It was going to be something that was great for both of these men's careers, I would say.
Because the acting is stellar.
Yeah, the acting is stellar. Everyone in it, all the supporting cast members, the ensemble cast, it is A1 acting. Yeah. Now, what they show you in the film. Now, remember, we talked about in episode, let me make sure I got it right. In episode 123 of hashtag TFR Podcast Live, we talked about the machines, right? We talked about the Boston Technologies company that have the dogs and have the robots that stand, they have balance. And just recently, they started showing you the robots and the dogs dancing together. In this film, they show you wartime robots, right? Robots created to fight war, right? So they're showing you what it is, and when you watch it, you're like, what are you going to combat this with, right? What are you going to combat this with? What are you going to combat this beyond AI, beyond artificial intelligence with, but a bazooka or something, a rocket launcher?
Especially when they choose at times to think for themselves. Like we saw, like you'll see in this film. Like, there's no controlling.
That's right. At one point in the film, we say, please don't preempt.
They do what they want to do.
And they do what they want to do, depending on, because they're programmed one way. Yeah. And so because they're programmed one way, their thought process is when something looks easy or looks threatening, take it out.
Right.
When it looks easy to take out or it looks threatening, take it out.
Which is interesting because at that point, they don't even take orders from the person that's in charge of.
That's right. They stand autonomous. They stand alone, right? Yeah. So this is during this time of what we're in, this is a very entertaining piece. It will take you away for 2 hours and some seconds away from what you're going. So that's what we look for. Great entertainment that will take you away from what you are experiencing right now. And so, yes, this is that, right? Outside the wire is like that. You get the definition of what outside the wire means. All of that within this picture. It's well put together.
It is.
It came out a couple of days ago. Came out on Martin Luther King's birthday on Netflix, and it's up now and it's trending high. You should definitely see it. Okay.
They did a great job with casting, didn't they?
Yes, they did. Yeah. Everyone in the cast is just, A1.
Because when we saw previews and when we saw that Damson Idris, and then we saw Kevin Mackie, we said, okay, this has to be good. And then we watched the trailer, and then we were just like, let it play.
Let's watch it. Yeah. So let's see. Let's break it down. Cinematography is a 10. Use of movement, camera movement is a 10. The use of CGI effects, right? I think it's a little stop motion in this too. I get that a 10. The use of green screen technology in this, beautifully done. There are places that you can, only the people who actually do film could tell they're not actually there, that it's like green screen and they're put within this world. That's a 10. The character development is a 10. The arcing of the character, Kevin Mackie is obviously the star, so the arcing of his character is faster than the assistant, which is Damson. What's his name?
Damson.
Damson. Yeah, it's a Damson. Damson Idris. His arc is slightly slower, but he catches.
Do you think it's because
he's being outthought by?
Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. Because, like you said, in this film, there are so many twists and turns, and us as viewers, we're like, wait a minute, I'm thinking, but this character is supposed to be one way, right? And then there's a twist, and then his character is looking at this other character like us, so he's just as confused as us. But he's doing a great job acting it out.
Yeah, the acting is superb.
Right.
The acting skill.
Yeah.
And all the actors in it. A1, that's a 10.
Yeah.
The use of location, right? CGI green screen as well as actual location, that's a 10.
Yeah.
I mean, what can you say? What would you give outside the wire?
Definitely give it a 10 for all the reasons you gave it. I mean, because there are like twists and turns, right? And we talk about like Kevin Mackie's character as well as Damson Idris' characters. Like the twists and turns, like the writing, like it's smart, it's funny.
Who wrote this? Let's find out who wrote it and directed it, because I think it's something more that we need to see, right? At one point in the film, the Kevin Mackie's character tells Damson Idris' character that, why did they choose this space to represent America? And I want you to pay close attention to, why did they pick this space to represent America and not a blonde-haired, blue-eyed country boy? And then watch the writing and watch what they say in that scene. Who wrote it?
So, two writers, Rob Comby and Rowan Althale.
Okay. Or they look like they're Russian?
Well, I don't
I don't know
know.
what it appears. But, so what would you give? I ran down the different.
I would definitely give it a 10 because, like we said, like the action, the acting, like for me, like Damson Idris. I told you during the film, like I can see the arc because not giving the film away for those who haven't seen it, but in the beginning, his mind's state is one way, right? Because of the type of work he does. But then once he moves over and starts working with Kevin Mackie's character, he's working in another part of the military and it's more hands-on. So I can see the character arc, like the personality is starting to shift, right? And then in the beginning, when they give him a gun, he's like, okay, I'm not used to this. But then you can see he's comfortable with the gun because he becomes, he saves someone's life. So you can see like the arc. But
Slow.
But see, that's great writing, right? And that's great acting,
Actor's choice, I guess.
Right, he's a great actor. With Snowfall. And the other film he did, we reviewed. I can't think of the name of it now. When he's overseas.
Yeah, where he's
a skinhead.
Where he's a skinhead.
Yeah, but yeah. So, they really great film. Like on like you said, if it was in the theater, it would be like one of those blockbuster number one sold out because it's just.
Because it's two names, Marvel and Snowfall. That was a great combination.
Right.
Marvel and Snowfall.
So that's why I was saying the casting, because they're both really good actors, great actors, right? And then the movie moves, doesn't it? It's like action from beginning to end.
The reason why we like Damson Idris is because within this politic about American black actors not being cast in certain roles, the man, as far as, you don't know what his opinion is.
But I love the roles he chooses, right?
He's not like a certain female actress, right? He keeps his mouth. He keeps his opinions to himself. He keeps his head down. He learns. He immerses himself into the culture, especially within the snowfall culture.
Right.
He immerses himself in the culture. He gains a understanding of what was happening during that time, how the government was involved within it, and he keeps his head down and he just does the work, and you don't see what kind of opinion. So he'll come through like a not a Denzel, but a Sidney Poitier or Harry Belafonte. He'll come through, whereas others or Cicely Tyson, or where others may be stymied because their opinion of how great they are as British actors. If you're that good, or you're Nigerian but you trained in Britain acting, if you're that good, how come you can't be on the stage there and be in their films and be leading people? Don't come over to the United States. Other than that, keep your opinion to how great an actor you are to yourself. Yeah. And then we wouldn't have this problem. So you gave it a 10?
I gave it a 10. And I think kind of like certain actors, right? You look at the projects that they choose, right? And that's what I like about like Denzel, right? I look at the projects that he reads the script.
He's an American black actor, though.
He reads the script, and he selects projects with, you would say, with substance and with agency, right? And with dignity, right? Not all actors and actresses do this, right? So from looking at Damson Idris's body of work so far, because he's a young actor. He's a young actor, and from the projects that we've seen him in, well thought out. So I think he has a long and a bright future ahead of him if he continues to be very selective in the projects that he chooses. And but yeah, he's a really young, really good actor.
Right. So I give Outside the Wire, playing now on Netflix, I give it a 10.